rolls, tearing through the endless cold. Twisting metal, thunder growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Fried Racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream. Gasoline, hearts and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track. Each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern Fried Racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern Fried Racing breed. Southern Fried Racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed. Southern Fried Racing breed.
Yeah, racing. The Southern Fried Racing Hour. Killer Carl, brother Carl in the house. Thank you so much. I hope you can hear me now. That was weird. You know,
Yeah, it was.
how technology is. Y'all give Killer Carl a follow on the Rumble side of things. Let's get ready to rumble.
Yeah.
And we're going to talk about racing. We just streamlined through a sports show. We want to hit a couple of highlights because we like to do that.
That's right.
Dean the Master is in the house for racing. He's all happy. I love you, brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
He is all happy. Can you see the glow on his face? Because Chase Elliott
Yes.
won the race in Atlanta. Every week, Chase. Now, he said Hamlin was going to win a few times. He's been patient. He was getting a little worried.
Yeah, I was.
And he said, I don't know what's wrong with him.
Right.
But this week we said, hometown, it's Atlanta. Chase is making a move.
And Georgia.
It's Georgia. He's going to win the race. And you know what?
He did.
He won the race. It took a big wreck.
Yeah.
A big wreck. Yeah, he's happy. Absolutely. He's happy. Chase is happy. We're going to show a couple of videos from the race, a couple things about it. I've got those loaded up. Let me find those. One of them is a double. I put the wrong end. I probably put the wrong one in. That was for Chase. Let's go to this one right here. This is talking about the big wreck. This is what caused, Chase won because he's a champion.
That's right.
The big wreck.
This is your on board for the big one. Take us through. Is this just a push and hope right here?
Yeah, I've watched this in-car a lot. I don't, in the moment, I didn't necessarily think it was my fault. I thought they were, really jammed up in front of me. I tried to slow down, and there's guys kind of pushing me. Yeah, it kind of looks like they get out of control and kind of slow down, but I should have left a bigger gap. I mean, if we're being honest, right? Where am I going? I'm not going anywhere. It doesn't help to push through those guys in front of me. So I definitely take some blame for it. I think not maybe 100% blame, but it's just kind of one of those racing deals that I was a big part of. So, I wish I would have left a little bit bigger gap. I don't think Denny would have wrecked if I didn't hit him. So probably could have just got it all back under control and kept going. So I hated to see that, but from my point of view, is the 4 guys in front of me were all locked bumpers. Seemed like the 9, I could see him in between the cars make a really big move up to the top. I was like, ooh, that could get tight and jam us up. And then it did. Just like I said, kind of a racing deal, but definitely hated that I was a decent part of that.
All right. What he said, I hit him.
Right.
So through
All
these
right.
moments, I have a lot of friends over in Victory Lane, and I've learned throughout the course of my career, like moments like this and moments like that we're gonna have. Like I'm just, I'm in no rush. I'm gonna soak it in and
Savor
enjoy
it.
it because, these things are
You
hard
never
to
know when
win.
it's the last one.
So you just enjoy these moments and make sure that we have a lot of fun with it, and then get our heads back down and head to Chicago.
The 48 there, and if those guys would race, I could hold them off. But when they double team me like that, it was the same thing when we had a couple teammates. We were able to hold them off, and we lost that. And at the end, they were able to double team me. So good effort, led a lot of laps in position. Don't really think there's anything I could do differently. Just put ourselves in position.
You don't get a lot of shots at these that close.
Does this one get a long shot at these out?
Does this one hurt?
About every loss hurts. I don't. Well, why don't we go on to next week and try to win?
Brad Keselowski with a good attitude after finishing second.
I got to thank Matt Colley, Chris Reicher. Give me an opportunity of a lifetime. This is the best cars I've ever driven, and we're building confidence, momentum, week in and week out. And yeah, man, that was pretty cool. I owe apology to the 7. I got in those guys, just got loose and couldn't hold it. And he was having a good race, so I apologize to those guys taking them out. But pretty pumped about our day. And one more thing, all you Denny fans out there, I just knocked your favorite driver out.
Ty Dillon knocks out Denny Hamlin. My car was really good, but I was pretty bottom dependent a little bit, just with how our handling was. And I'd say that was a little popular. So congrats to the 9 team and Chase. Proud of those guys, and glad to have a Hendrick car at Victory Lane. Wish it was us, but yeah, we had a really fast Ally 48 there after we crashed, and yeah, just needed to not lose control of the race, but that was hard to do. Everybody that led lost control of the race, so I just led at the wrong time, I guess. But yeah, wish we were 2 spots better or whatever, but still a good day for us and our Ally Camaro.
Made a wrong move at the wrong time. Most of the night, if I sat and waited, I'd get shuffled back, and just need to be a little bit smarter with my move on the 6. It got us shuffled too far back to be able to fight truly for the win there. So disappointing for sure, but it was nice to get a playoff point, score some points at a speedway. But yeah, just more and more new winners. So we gotta find our way to Victory Lane. That's for sure.
This certainly was a battle of attrition. Would more Toyotas, more teammates have helped you in the end?
No, I just need to make better choices myself.
Just really proud of the effort, proud of what we're doing right now. We've made a big climb in points, and we're still going. And I don't know. You don't know what, if we can keep making it better. We're at the cusp here of we're one good step away from really being contenders, and I hope we can take that step soon.
In the last 7 races, you've jumped from 30th to 18th in the points. You've jumped a few more spots tonight. With 8 races to go, Eric, in the regular season, are you thinking you could point your way in if you continue running this well?
Yeah, if we can do this, for sure. It's going to take some perfect races, but we've been doing that. We haven't got the finishes here and there, but we've got a lot of stage points through the day and ran well. So if we can get some stage points, get these finishes like this, there's no reason we can't. So would love to get a win. I thought we had a shot at the end. It just was kind of, I just ran out of time, but nice to be in contention for it, and getting amped up, running up front and having fun. So road course has been up and down for us, so I hope they're good the next 2, but looking forward to it either way.
So Deanie gets it done.
That's right.
A nice shot there about the Hamlin deal.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't catch that post race. I didn't catch that till I put the video up, and I like to fell out of my chair. I was like, dude,
I did too.
That's what makes racing fun again.
That's right.
It's those kinds of things. They're getting some character. These young guys are coming in. We're going to cover this story more, though. There's a controversy about this new owner coming in and these lawsuits. And, man, I'll just be honest with you, I don't understand all of it, but we'll kind of dive into that next week maybe as we get to Chicago. But there's your champion. Good job, Chase. You had to have it.
That's right.
He's been consistent. Points are good. He's in the hunt. He could win this thing.
That's right. He could. He got
Logano, you're falling off. Larson, you've been falling off. Hamlin's holding serve still.
Bale, where are you at?
Bale's, where's he at? Yeah. So it seems like this season has a lot of rises and falls for different teams, and right now, Chase is as hot as anybody on the circuit.
Yeah, he is.
There's a lot of road course type stuff coming up.
Right.
Small track road course with a super speedway tucked in there, and that would be is it Talladega or
Daytona coming up?
Daytona's coming up. That's going to tell the tale too. I'm going to go to Dean's notes. There's a lot to cover, and I don't know what he has, but it's brought to you by Patriot Mobile. Make the switch today. Use that promo code Cornbread. I'm fixing to switch 2 more phones over, and I'll be talking to those folks over the weekend. Make the switch today. Save money, support an American company who loves America. Imagine that.
USA.
USA. You'll also be helping the Southern Fried. Dean's notes. Dean, what you got?
Okay. Atlanta Automotive Speedway is now Echo Park Speedway.
I hate that.
I do too.
What is Echo? What is that off of? Echo Park.
I don't know.
Hello.
There's what I'm thinking, yeah. The race was 260 laps, 400.4 miles. It was on TNT.
Yeah, and I was not happy because apparently I don't have TNT on my TV package. I switched back and forth to the Braves. But you did tell me it replays on Tubi?
Yes, on Tubi.
Replays on Tubi. Is it going to be on TNT the rest of the season?
No, for about 4 more weeks on TNT.
Okay, I'll have to suffer through.
I would too. It's a 1.5 miles intermediate speedway. Right now, it's an in-season challenge. The bracket is like they have in baseball and football.
They get some money, right?
Yes, at the end of the at the end of this five weeks, they win $1 million.
$1 million.
Okay. Saturday, June 28th, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Here's the ones on TNT. Saturday, June 28th, Atlanta Motor Speedway. Sunday, June 6th, Chicago Street Race.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either.
Sunday, June 13th, Sonoma Raceway.
I don't like Sonoma.
Sunday, June 20th, Dover Motor Speedway. Dover is a pretty good track.
I like Dover.
Sunday, July 27th, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the Brickyard.
That'd be okay too. I like that.
These races will be 7 p.m., 2 p.m., 3:30 p.m., 2 p.m., and 2 p.m. Now, here's Saturday's race. Focused on Hell's 250. Correction, it was Friday night's race, Xfinity Series. Kyle Busch was in the booth. Sheldon Creed got the pole for Sunday, for Friday night. Sorry, folks. Taylor Gray wins stage 1. Brandon Jones wins stage 2. Nick Suarez wins the Friday night race. Now, Saturday's race, the Lime Rock Park, the Iona 150, 1 p.m., 100 laps, Craftsman Truck Series. Corey Heim wins stage 1. Corey Heim got the pole. Corey Heim wins stage 2.
He's the dog.
Yeah. Corey Heim time, wins the race Saturday. Now here's Sunday's race. 7 p.m. Greco State 400 was Saturday night on TNT. Austin Cedric wins stage 1. Tyler Reddick wins stage 2. Chase Elliott wins the race. Now, here's what I found out yesterday. Daniel Suarez to leave Trackhouse at the end of this season.
Yeah, Suarez is out. He didn't win the big race at Mexico. He won the Saturday race.
Right.
And you would think with the short tracks coming up, I thought they might ride with him. But this was a little shocking to me.
It was
a little shocking. And who's going to fill that ride? Have they already announced?
They said Connor Zilic might get that ride.
Now he's It's a young guy coming on.
Yes.
And that's the driver that Dale Jr. was the crew chief for on the win, right?
Yes.
He is a heck of a talent.
He is.
And they're making moves to get hey Rebel Son, hey Cindy, hey Angry Conservative. Appreciate all you being here. God bless you. So I don't fault them for going after him. And we said in the second part of this season there was going to be some moves.
Oh yeah.
I just didn't think it's going to happen this week.
I didn't either.
So look for more of this to happen.
Oh yes.
There was even talk about Chase. I think that's kind of calmed down now.
Right.
But
Bowman's on the hot seat.
Bowman's on the hot seat, especially when you've got Hocevar and some others out there. Does Suarez get another Cup ride?
I don't think he will.
I think it's going to be hard for him to find a spot. I really do. Absolutely find it hard. There's your winner. A shout out to him. We've been dogging him all year not because we don't like him. We like him. It's his favorite driver.
Right,
but it just didn't feel like he was getting anything done. Thank you, Jake. You have a safe and happy 4th of July too. Absolutely from us at the Southern Fried and the Cornbread Nation. Yes. So let's look at a few things there. Dean gave you those races there. You can see them. We won't stay here long. But we got to get off TNT. That would help me. that will help me. There's your order. And I got to give Brad Keselowski, we said he was racing better.
He was.
If he'd won this race, that would have been a story.
If he had one more lap to go, he would have got it.
It was a great win by Chase, and that was a great story.
Yes.
Being at home, he needed it. If Keselowski wins that, Bowman does come in third.
Right.
So he's it was a big wreck. Reddick, who disappeared for a couple of races,
yeah, he did,
is back. Eric Jones, we heard from. He's another young driver, sort of moving up. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Zane Smith, Ty Dillon, Busher, who was all the rage, Hocevar, Zilich, there he is. Allmendinger, Ware, Gibbs, Priest, McLeod, Larson, 17. Didn't get it done, man. He has really faded. I'm not really sure what's ever since he tried to do 2 races.
You're right. He's right.
Ever since then, this guy has not been the same.
He's not.
Michael McDowell, Cole Custer, Dillon, Kyle Busch, 21st.
Sorry, folks.
Bubba Wallace, 22nd. Justin Haley, SVG. He's not going to win another race till
no.
He'll have a chance in the road courses. Gregson, Nemechek, Gilliland, big wreck. Hertz, David Starr. Not used to seeing that name.
Yeah.
And then you see some of the others. Bell, look at that, 30th.
What happened to you, Bell?
Wow. Hamlin, 31st. This was the big wreck. Barry, who'd been racing better, knocked out. Chastain, winner this year, knocked out. Suarez, out and lost his ride.
Right.
Briscoe has been up on the upswing. Logano, you're out, dude. Byron, what happened to you? That top 5 average, gone. Cindric, another great driver. And then Blaney, 40th. Wreck just destroyed their week. Absolutely destroyed the week for them. Standings, a little small, I know. Trying to get them all on there in a couple of screens. Byron still holds on that. He's safe with wins. He's in the playoff. Chase, number
second.
2.
Yeah.
He has the win now, and he's got, I think, the best average finish right now.
He does.
He's averaged the best. Larson does hold on to 3rd, but he got those 3 wins. He's still only 42 back. Hamlin, disappointing for him. 3 wins, but he's down to 4th. Bell, 3 wins, down to 5th. So, yeah, Larson, Hamlin, and Bell all fell, along with Blaney. You got Reddick climbing, Chase climbing, Busher still climbing, Chastain held serve. There's your leaderboard, and then on down the list. I would just say as we look down the list, Josh Berry is at 19th. Still, Eric Jones at 16th. Bubba still holding at 13, and there is Bowman at 12th. Your champion from last year, Logano, just outside the top 10. There's still time.
Right.
But you know what? And he does have 1 win, but he needs to close that up.
That's right.
He needs to close that up. And then there's the rest of them. There is your Chicago entry list. Now, this is not the order of finish. or order of start. Excuse me. They'll have to
Qualify.
They'll have to qualify, but you can see these are the drivers that are going to be in this race. And I don't think there's any surprises in here.
Nope.
Other than when this came out, Suarez was in the number 99 car. He's not there now, so gone. Playoff standings: Larson, Hamlin, Bell, Byron, Blaney, Cindric, Logano, still there at 7th. Briscoe, Berry. You can see the list here. But here's your guys. There's your elimination line. Look who's still there.
Right.
Bubba Wallace. He's still got a shot, but he's been falling. He's going to have to watch out. And then the rest of them that are outside. The power ranking they didn't have out yet, so this power ranking is still old, and we won't cover that anymore. But it's been a very balanced year. You do have some teams with multiple wins. It's getting close to the playoff time. Right. There are some teams that are getting some of that. They're getting some of those wins that they need right now.
True.
But like a team like Eric Jones needs a win.
Right.
There's just 4 or 5 teams that have a shot. Bubba Wallace, he needs a win. So Reddick, he needs a win.
Right.
These are drivers that could get in there, but it's going to be tight. And I can't wait for the playoffs to start. That's going to be fun. And so what a great race.
But no fights yet. We don't see no fights yet.
No, we had the little, look in the window and
right.
Got a little smart with
Hocevar and
Hocevar and
Stenhouse.
They were mixing it up a little bit with words.
Right.
Words. A little finger pointing.
Right.
But no real, attack or anything.
Right.
Thank you, Rebel Son. And if we're not following you, we will. We'll do that. Thank you for that. We appreciate it. Thanks for being here. I am enjoying the season. I still say the crowd was great.
It was.
The attendance has gotten better at the track.
Right.
The racing has been great.
Oh, yeah.
No fights. That's coming.
It's
heating up. It is, holiday weekend. It's July 4th weekend. Have a great weekend as you get ready. Lock in. I didn't watch this race last year at Chicago. Did you watch that race?
Yes, I did.
What did you think about it?
It's okay. It wasn't one of my favorites. It wasn't one that I would root for. But they might be leaving Chicago this year. It might be the last year for Chicago.
Are they racing through town? Or is that, where do they race at?
The what now?
Where do they race at there? Is it through town?
Yes.
Well, they might want to carry a weapon.
It's a street race. Next year, they're talking about maybe San Diego next year.
I'm just not a fan of that stuff. I'm not going to be negative Nelly. I just am not a big fan of, I'm just not a big fan of road courses and stuff. I'm not. I'm a super speedway guy. I like some short tracks because I think Bristol. There's a few that I like.
Right.
I love Darlington. That's one of my favorite tracks. It's a hard track, rough. I like that. Reminds me of the old days, and I'm an old guy. But I'm just not a big fan of these road courses. And we've got a little bit of that coming in. But we get back to Daytona and stuff like that. That's when I really like that. There's not many races left before the playoff.
8 weeks.
8 weeks. And that's going to put us right into football season. We'll be starting up or the first games will be kicking off. So we'll have racing playoffs. The baseball playoffs will be coming.
Right.
And we'll have NFL and the racing. That's going to be cool. That's when sports gets really cool.
You're right.
Right in that little time frame, the end of baseball, October and all that. You've got football kicking in. You got the racing going on.
Right.
That's a cool time. I like that. The weather slowly starts cooling off. You get into the fall of the season. That's when I really think it's the best time of year for that. So, Dean, what's your thoughts now, man, as you think about
Atlanta was one of the better races I've seen.
I think so. Although I didn't get to watch all of it because I didn't have TNT, so I picked up on clips and stuff. And obviously the wreck was early, and that took out a lot of folks. I wonder how many people left after the wreck, like their drivers out early like that. I didn't notice that, but I
didn't
wondered
either.
if they left.
But what surprised me was the two big ones in it. I cannot believe there are two big wrecks in Atlanta.
And that's not a track that's usually the wrecking race like that.
Well, it is now because it's a mini super speedway.
Yeah. They've made changes to that track. I mean, from days gone by.
Right.
They've done a lot of upgrades there.
I like it better.
Is that still a Burton Smith track? Does he still own it?
I think he does, yes.
Yeah, he owns 5 that I know. I like Atlanta. I like that track. And, wrecking is racing. We say rubbing is racing. Wrecking is racing, too.
That's right.
But people are going to get mad. There's a lot riding on the line, and these people are fighting for their job.
Yeah.
And you could see that in their faces.
Yes.
As we showed those interviews. The one guy, and I liked that he took it on himself, but he almost had he almost had that look like we ain't going to make it.
Right.
We're not, because now it's down to you have to have it. There's only
Yes.
so many races. And Brad Keselowski has to kick himself bad.
He got to.
As bad as he started to not get the win when you get there, you can see how he's been. And,
But Bowman helped Chase out doing it. Because if it wasn't for Bowman, Chase would have lost that race.
yeah. Well, that's your team racing. I got to be honest. I kind of miss the days when there were 42 cars or 44 cars on the track and there are no teams. You just everybody for himself.
Right.
I get why they do that. But when I'm in sports, everybody's my enemy.
Exactly.
I mean,
that's how I am. I would be that way too.
It's hard to say, oh, we got to play nice. That's the teammate. And I'm sure there's a lot of attitude sometimes about who gets what.
Right.
I didn't hear about any tire issues in this race.
There wasn't that many tire issues like that. But, of course, Goodyear's going to goof up again.
Of course. Blown engines.
Yes.
Was there any blown engines in
No.
the game? I didn't think that there was. And to be honest, that's been minimal this year.
It has.
There was that back-to-back race where there was blown engine.
And cars catching on fire.
Cars get on fire. But overall, that's not been a problem. There was a few years ago where there was a big problem with engines blowing up.
Yes, it was.
They seem to have fixed that. And then we got to mention, because I think we missed it, it happened after the show last week. Larson and Chase was fined.
Yes.
For pre-race inspection.
Yes.
3 times.
Right.
3.
Right.
So they say, after, the third time, it took them 3 times to get in, right?
Right.
So they say one time, okay, you bring back,
right.
But they had to bring it back again. So that third check, they're like issuing a fine. Pretty stiff.
It was stiff.
And
I got through like 50,000 per, each one.
I don't think any driver points.
No,
right?
no.
And was the crew chief kicked out for the weekend?
I think the engineer and one of the crew members. I think.
What was the issue? I didn't hear what.
I didn't hear that part, but I read that it was fine, but I didn't hear the issues of it.
So it worked out for them, but they want to watch that. You got the win, not for Larson, but for Chase. You don't want to anger NASCAR officials, especially when you've been fined like that. And that's not the first time.
No.
This team is, and all teams do it. This team is not doing well in the getting caught category.
Right.
Remember, it's not a penalty if you're not caught.
That's right.
It's like basketball.
Well, you look.
So that's a foul. I didn't get called.
But you look back at the Jimmy Johnson, Jack and Else era, they was fined many a times.
I say if you're getting fined, you're not good at what you're doing.
That's right.
I always say if you're going to cheat,
don't get caught.
Yes, well, don't get caught. Be good enough to not get caught. Make it somebody else gets caught.
That's right.
I'm not advocating cheating. It reminded me of a time I went into a Dollar General store and it was not one Dollar General, actually. It was a Dollar Tree. And this lady was being arrested for stealing at the Dollar Tree. And I'm like, if I'm going to take and I would never do it, but if I'm going to take the chance of making that ride
Right.
in the cuffs, to the jail,
Not Dollar Tree.
Dollar Tree, and I'm not putting down Dollar Tree. I'll shop there.
I do too.
But I'm thinking she had like 30 items on there. I'm like, that's back when they were still $1 a piece. I'm like, really? That was your plan? The Dollar Tree? If you're getting caught, that's what it feels like to me. If you're getting caught, you're not good at what you're doing.
That's right.
Stop cheating. I mean, it obviously didn't help you. You won without it.
No.
So why are you doing it? You know what they do, and it makes the drivers angry. They get former drivers to be that.
Yeah.
It's like in football. They get in the SEC on the rules committee, they get former coaches and stuff.
Uh-huh.
That ticks the current administration
it does.
when they make decisions like that. But there was a guy that served for a long time on that inspection committee for NASCAR. I can't remember who it was. Was it one of the Pearsons or something? I can't remember.
I think it was.
And they get mad at him. I mean, because every car goes through pre-race. Then certain cars go through post-race. Top 3 automatically go.
Right.
And then selected cars.
Then they randomly pick one.
But the pre-race, everybody gets checked.
Right.
And usually it's a spoiler height or something. Tire pressure. I don't know what. Not tire pressure, but it's all about what. Or of course, some that's been caught trying to cheat. What was the major one? They tried to put an extra fuel cell in there.
Yes. Yes.
I don't remember who got caught with that. That's a safety issue. Big time.
I want to say Kevin Harvick did, because he always tried something like that.
They tried to put a little. It was like a bottle, but it was only big enough. They hit it in the roll cage.
Yeah.
And they had some way to flip the switch or something.
Yeah.
It was enough if it was late race to get you around the track.
Right.
And boy,
I remember that. Yeah.
That's bad. That's the kind of thing that'll get you banned from the sport. But usually it's a little bit of something here. Now they've been caught on the restrictor plates. They're not supposed to be cheap. Somehow they found ways before.
And on the spoiler, like you said, the spoiler's been too high. Maybe an eighth of an inch too high, eighth of an inch too low.
They're looking for all that.
All of it.
By the way, that in-camera car that he was showing that video was horrible. I've never seen an in-camera that was pointing to the side like that.
I either.
Usually it's pointing straight ahead. What was that?
I don't know what that was.
The worst camera angle I've ever seen.
It was.
For a NASCAR race. I mean, I know another thing we're not seeing as much is where's the cameras? I haven't seen them. Maybe they're doing it. I don't see as much where they're looking under the car behind them and stuff.
I know it.
It's all just straight on.
Right. But they have showed the cars behind them, but it's not like they used to.
Was it Dale that never would put the in-car camera? Dale Earnhardt. If somebody did not like the in-car camera, and I can't remember who it was back in the day, just did not like that and refused to do it. Some of them don't like the microphones either, where they call in, "Hey, 22, you got a handle." They hate that.
Right.
I mean, not much you can say. Well, yeah, we're gonna put the pedal to the metal and see what we can get going here. It's kind of a nice thing, but
everything that said, NASCAR records everything, and if you say anything to your driver about going faster, it's always you get penalized for it.
Yeah, the fun police. Of course, I've told you, I'm all about taking restrictors off and saying, if you got the guts to put that car in the corner at 200, go for it.
I got a driver right here. You might want to
go ahead. I love it.
Okay. This driver here is from the Trinidad area, Jolie Johnson. Do you remember him?
Say it again.
Jolie Johnson.
Yes.
Many years he drove the number 77.
Do you remember that?
No, I don't. He was born September 11th, 1929. Owner of Cleveland Speedway, Cleveland, Tennessee.
Right here close to home.
First year was 1959. NASCAR Grand National Series winner of the 1960 World 600, which is now the Coca-Cola 600. 1959, NASCAR Convertible Division champion. NASCAR Cup Series. 2 wins. Ran 55 NASCAR races over 7 years. 16 races over 2 years. Their NASCAR convertible division career. 2 wins in that too. NASCAR convertible division. Best finish was first, 1959. First race, 1958, race 11, Lakewood. Last race, 1959, race 15, Charlotte Fairgrounds. Last win, 1959, race 3, Richmond. NASCAR Cup Series. Best finish, 13th, 1960. First finish, 1957, Daytona Beach Road Course. Last race, 1962, NASCAR 500. First race, 1959, NASCAR 300. Last win, 1959, race number 3, Richmond. And that was Jordy Johnson.
That goes back to some of the early days.
Yes.
Of NASCAR. We talk about the beach and an amazing time. And if we think about it, that's not that really that long ago.
No, it ain't.
NASCAR is a pretty young. I mean, so a lot of the sports are over 100 years old.
Right.
Certainly basketball and baseball is, and that all happened. Some of that, I mean, almost in my lifetime. I mean, some of that was before I was born, but it's not that far back, and we've grew up with it.
Right.
And yes, it was a Southern sport. It has changed now, and it's become even international. But to think all that and the France family has owned it.
Yes.
And there's people trying to break that monopoly. But
that's where the lawsuit is coming from.
That's where the lawsuits are coming from. And we're going to dig in a little more because it's going to cause there could be some people get shut out. There could be some people that lose their ride.
Yes.
That are really good drivers. But this guy is coming in. He's coming in throwing a lot of money around. It don't always work.
No, it don't
always work. I remember a few years ago, back in late 80s, early 90s, there was a guy that I'm trying to think of the name of the owner. He come in and he threw down millions and built some of the finest garages in NASCAR up in North Carolina, and they weren't that successful.
Was it Ray Evernham?
It wasn't Ray Evernham. I'm trying to think of the owner's name. He come in and spent a lot of money. He brought in some top talent, but it didn't work out.
Because the sport started in 1948.
Yeah, it wasn't that far back.
No, it wasn't.
This would have been, I want to say late 80s, mid to late 80s, probably in the early 90s. Started coming in, throwing a lot of money around, and then got out.
I know Michael Waltrip did that.
Yeah, and, you can sink a lot of money into operations like this. Tony Stewart, there's a lot of people that have, made that transition from race car driver or crew chief or owner or whatever, but, made those transitions and even up into the broadcasting. But not everybody's a winner.
No.
It's a dog eat dog world.
It is
racing. And if you lose sponsorship, you're just out.
Right.
You can't exist without it. I remember the number at one time, and this is an old number, but when you're talking about how expensive those engines are and just the shops and the crews and everything, I mean, it's an expensive proposition. And I want to say it's $200,000 when you look at all of what goes into a car. A long time ago, that's what it was, I think.
You got that. I got this the other day.
Okay.
NASCAR sponsor and notes.
All right.
$400,000 per race to sponsor a successful NASCAR race car is priced for primary sponsor. Per race. Associate sponsor over between $15,000 and $40,000. Primary sponsor is $15 million per year, and sponsor teams have to pay more.
So when you're pouring out that kind of money and you're not getting the results, the pressure's on the team to
Right.
make a change.
Right.
And that's why it ain't a game. It's their dream, but this is big time money. That's their mark. That's a huge marketing budget to
is.
pour into a team. And if you've got a guy that's not getting it done, they're looking for somebody who can. So it's just like in any sport, the pressure is to win. And the bigger teams, that pressure intensifies. And you can't have loyalty if you're not winning.
I know I got a video at home. Like I said, the big sponsor, the primary, $15 million per year.
That's incredible.
The little bitty sponsors that you see on the cars, like EA Sports, those is up in millions too. The little bitty sponsors you see.
Yeah. Now, and then some of them are sponsoring the races themselves.
Right, right.
So they have a car, they'll sponsor a certain race.
Right.
And then all your executives are there, and it's a big deal.
Right.
And that's a lot of pressure on a driver and a team to perform well, because really you are racing for your job.
Yes. Yes.
In front of the people who are sponsoring. Even though the car owner is the owner, those are the guys paying the bills.
That's it.
And those guys, if they're not happy, nobody's going to be happy. Now, a lot of them realize we're in it for the long haul, but you got to show progress.
Yes.
You know, if you're showing that you can get up there and win a race or two, even if you fall back, and the big thing for these top tier racers is just to win a race, but to get in that playoff, because anything can happen once you get in the playoff. It's just like that in college football or anything. The idea is to be a champion.
Right, right.
And if it just looks like you're just going through the motions, a sponsor like that's going to move on. They're not going to stay. And so you can see how hard it is for, say, a guy to get a car and even enter into a race, much less the whole season. So regionally, every once in a while, you will see extra drivers get into a handful of races. The reason is that's all they can afford.
That's it.
That is all they can afford.
But then you got sponsors like Bass Pro Shop, sponsoring two different drivers, which is Austin Dillon and Chase Briscoe. They got two different cars, two different drivers, two different teams, Chevrolet and Toyota, but one sponsor for both cars.
I'd say they're fairly okay with what one of them's done for sure.
Right.
But it is a challenge. And if sales go down for a company, honestly, you're going to look at cutting something. And
that's it.
That could be the place you cut, because that's not a necessity. It is to get your brand out there, but that's a lot of money. I mean, marketing is expensive. So we're all paying for that.
Yeah, we are.
I mean, we are all paying for that. We buy the products. That's built into that successful business model.
That's it.
Of how if we keep doing this, if they got all the analytics, they study all this every which way you can. If they're showing the analytics show that our sales are up, even if they wasn't running, they're still not happy about that, but they'll ride with them. But even a big wreck could put your name out there a lot if something happens during the race. And so I think sometimes some of these guys are trying to make a splash because they need something to happen.
Right.
And I just wonder sometimes if that's not why some wrecks happen. I wonder. Broski says, shout out to Chase Briscoe for winning the best race of them all. The great American, the best. Come on, dude. The Great American Getaway
come
400 at
on.
Pocono. Shout out to Briscoe for winning.
Well, yes.
But I will not agree that that's the best race of them all.
Right. It was. I
No,
disagree, Broski. I disagree with you.
Come on, man.
Come on.
The greatest?
No,
There ain't
no,
way,
no,
dude.
no. I disagree.
You know that there's only really two racetracks that can vie for the best. Maybe three.
Atlanta, Talladega,
Talladega's in mine.
and Daytona.
Daytona. I like Atlanta, but it's hard to push Charlotte out of that top three.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
As much as I like Atlanta, I do like it. But the greatest of them all for me, I know you were. I was fixed to say that. I love it. I love it that you do that. NC Native does that too. I love him. But I will say my favorite, Daytona. And she said actually Charlotte is number one. And it's because of the Daytona 500.
Right.
That is the Great American Race.
Yes, yes.
That is the best race on the circuit. And that's one heck of a setting. So
And they used to race on the beach. Did you know that?
yeah, they did. So that's me. What do you say? What's your favorite? I mean, I think that's the greatest racetrack is Daytona.
I would say Talladega is mine.
Okay, you can't argue it. I mean, it's what a track and what a race. It's legend.
Yes.
So I get that,
Yes.
and I have no problem with you saying Broski Charlotte's number one because I do believe that they deserve that. As much as I
Yeah.
like Atlanta, I've got to go Daytona, Talladega, and Charlotte. And I might even put Charlotte above Talladega just because I think that track is amazing.
What about Bristol?
It's in my top 5 only because that race is fun to watch. But I've told you I'm not a short track guy. I don't like short tracks. I tolerate short tracks. I want to see them get on the big tracks and go.
What about the Brickyard, the Indy?
I'll put it at 5. Well, or 6. 5. I'll put it at 5. But that's because of the legendary status of it. Hey, he said he drove by the NASCAR Hall of Fame yesterday. Where the heck is that at?
That's in Charlotte.
I didn't know that. He lives in
Yes,
Charlotte.
yes.
I did not know that.
Did you stop at it, Broski?
Nah, he did a drive-by.
No. But you stop and go in.
Uptown Charlotte.
Yes. I've been there.
Yeah, but I like I'd like to go. That would be cool.
It's nice.
And it's not that old.
It ain't.
Because they only started the Hall of Fame a few years ago.
Yeah, and
they were nominating extra drivers to kind of get caught up.
In 2010.
And who's up to? I've heard who's up to this year. It's there's an owner up. I know. Is it Evernham? Anyway, they've already got the candidates out there for this year.
Yes.
Because I've heard about it, but I don't remember who they were.
Hang on a minute, I'll tell you.
That'd be fun to go to. Who was it? It was some pretty big name. I mean, a really big name. And then the others, I mean, I think all of them were probably deserving, but I don't remember who they were. We'll see if Dean can find it. Hey, folks, thanks for watching. We love the racing show. The Dodge Charger, look at it, punks do street takeovers in front of it sometimes. It's a status thing for the local street takeover crew. Because it's the NASCAR Hall of Fame.
Okay, last year in 2025 was Carl Edwards, Ricky Rudd, Ralph Moody was inducted into Hall of Fame in 2025.
For this year?
Okay.
For 2014?
Yes.
Oh, they've already done that. Was the 25?
Yes.
Okay, so it'll be the next ones will be 26. So, it sounds like they're catching up a little bit. Nothing against those guys. I like Ricky Rudd, but it sounds like they're kind of balancing out right now. So I need to look that up. I'd like to look up the criteria for what it takes to get in the NASCAR Hall of Fame as a driver.
You got to be retired from the sport 5 years.
I knew that one.
They have a voting for the pioneer of the race.
I really don't remember. But we'll tell you next week.
Yes.
All right, folks, it's time to go. Thanks. As always, Dean, appreciate you, brother.
I may not know everything, but I can always look it up.
GTS, man. GTS.
Thank you.
Google that
Thank
stuff, Hey, Broski, thanks for being here. Everybody on the Rumble side, thank you so much. And Facebook, Instagram, X, wherever you're coming from. We'll be back at 8 with the Cornbread Nation show. Me and Rob on the screen together, and we'll see you soon. We are out. Let's get our music fired up, and we'll see you next week. And next week's racing show will be Tuesday.
Yes.
Tuesday.
Yes.
So we'll get you Tuesday. Then after that, it'll be Thursday, which is good because on that week I got to do elections on Tuesday. So that following week, that'll work out good. So keep coming in. Tell us about it. Get the word out there. We're loving it. Having fun.
See
Chase
ya, folks.
for the win. Yay, Dean. I'm not a Chase fan, but I'm glad he won.
I am too.
He needed to win.
Oh, yes.
So come on, Reddick. It's time for you.
Oh,
man.
who's going? Before we leave, what's your pick for the Charlotte
Oh
race?
yeah, we didn't. The Chicago.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I don't even like that race. I'm gonna say SVG. I just put it out there. He's gonna win.
I gotta say Chase again.
Chase again. Here's Ken's SVG. Chase, Alex Bowman, Dark Horse Keselowski. I'll go SVG. I'm gonna say off the wall here. I don't even know. I you know what? This is one of those crazy races. I'm going to give him. It's in Joliet, aka Joliet, not Chicago. It's just, but they're all outside of. I will say SVG. Oh my gosh!
I know it.
I'm gonna say Larson, just because he's been so bad, and I'll go Hamlin.
Mine would be Chase, Bale, and Larson.
Nice. My dark horse is going to be. I can't choose him. He's that ain't going to work. I'll go because they really need to win. I'm going to go Reddick.
My dark horse would be John Hunter Nemechek.
Not a bad pick. Thanks for reminding me. I almost forgot about
I do
the
too.
picks. We covered some different things that throw me off, but it's good. We're kind of branching out.
Good pick, Ken. I like that pick.
Those are good picks, Ken. We did good last week. We'll see what happens this week. We are out, and let's fire up the music. And there it is.
Bonsalab, boys, let it blast. Dave and Dean roar each week, spin the wheels, engines speak, tracks of fire, dust and smoke, southern skies, the throttles choke. Fast and fierce, racing souls, tearing through the endless cold. Twisting metal, thunder growls, screams of tires, dirt that scowls. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern pride racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Every lap a rebel's dream, gasoline, hearts and the scream. Dave and Dean crown the track, each corner fight, ain't turning back. Crank it loud, boys, let it blast. Roads of fury racing fast. Southern pride racing hours here. Fuel the fire, shift the gear. Nights alive, wheels embrace, burn the streets, set the pace. Hours, speed's the creed, southern fried, racing breed.